Sneakers, they're not just shoes, they're culture, they're history, and sometimes even a revolution. From the hardwood to the streets, to the Air Jordans to the Crocs, every pair has a story to tell. Today we're taking you on a journey on the most iconic shoes ever made. They aren't just product, they're milestones. They've changed the way we play, the way we walk, and even the way we think about style. Whether you're a sneakerhead or you're just curious on what makes these sneakers, these kicks, and these shoes so special, you're in for a treat. So lace up and let's step into the most iconic shoes in sneaker and shoe history. The Air Jordan 1, arguably the most iconic sneaker ever, synonymous with Michael Jordan and the birth of sneaker culture. Jordan 1 was banned by then NBA Commissioner David Stern because it violated the league's strict uniform code. Nike capitalized on the opportunity and paid for Michael Jordan's fine, which equated to $5,000 per game, to play in the most rebellious shoe the league has ever seen. They had an old school commercial, the Nike commercial, they had like a little black outline on the shoe. The Air Max 90, revolutionary design with visible air cushioning, essential in sneaker history and a lifestyle staple. The Nike Air Max was released in 1990. The original title was the Air Max 3. Designed by Tinker Hatfield, the sole motivation was to knock this silhouette out the park. The sneaker debuted during the time when Nike was applying a chokehold on the sneaker industry. The infrared colorway was a smash success with consumers. It was clear Nike was on his way to doing something great. The Air Max bubble was enormous compared to subsequent Air Max bubbles later on. I guess they kind of cut the fat and stream trims of the Nike Air Max as you can see here. The Reebok Pump, unforgettable for its innovation and massive cultural footprint. It was designed by Paul Litchfield, Dominique, and Dennis Rodman. Another historical note, D. Brown wore a pair at the 1991 Slam Dunk Contest. He pumped, right? And this is what Reebok was talking about. Pump up and air out. Again, that was a challenge to Nike. Nike had the Air Max this, Air Max bubbles, air bubbles. Reebok said, you know what? And this one came out, and I'm telling you, this shoe was phenomenal. Love this shoe. Shaquille O'Neal at the time. Dominique Wilkins was wearing Reebok. Daggone D. Brown was wearing Reebok. The Nike Huarache, a groundbreaking design by Tinker Hatfield, influential in blending sports and streetwear aesthetics. To truly understand the significance of the Nike Huarache, we need to go back to its roots. The Nike Huarache was introduced in 1991, and they quickly made waves in the sneaker industry. What set the sneaker apart from other running shoes of its time is innovative and minimalist design. The Nike Huarache was designed by Tinker Hatfield. The Nike Huarache was definitely a game changer, adorned with vibrant colorways, making it visually striking and instantly recognizable. The Nike Huarache's impact extended beyond its design. It introduced the concept of a running shoe that focused on minimalism, stripping away unnecessary elements for a more natural and unrestricted running experience. The Huarache challenged the prevailing notion that running shoes needed excessive cushioning and support. Instead, it embraced a less is more philosophy, promoting a more efficient running style. Over the years, the Nike Huarache evolved, adapting to changing trends and technologies. It became a staple not only in the running world, but also in fashion and streetwear. The Huarache transcended its performance origins and became a cultural icon. Its popularity soared in the 1990s and 2000s, and it continues to be highly sought after. The Adidas Form, a classic basketball shoe that helped Adidas establish itself in the sneaker world during the 1980s. This form was designed by Jacques Chessing in France in 1983. He wanted to create a sneaker that will favor the team with diversity of athletes in mind and their roles on athletic characteristics. After talking with players and coaches, he located the weak point in the ankle. He visualized bands used by psychotherapists which would stabilize the ankle, and consequently, this birthed the crisscross ankle system. Now it's time to analyze the Adidas. Your favorite basketball player, looking at these photos, guess who used to wear Adidas Form, ladies and gentlemen? This is before the Nike days. This was in, but the Adidas Form, baby. 1983, 84, the 90s, the 80s, baby. Old school. Love it. Type in the comments if you have any memories about the Adidas Form. I am definitely interested to hear. The Air Max 95, known for its striking gradient design and influence on running shoes and streetwear. Trademarked it. They've embedded the air bubble into shoes, the gym shoes, the basket, as you can see here. I imagine the water eroding the landscape and unearthing the strata below. This is the water eroding the landscape, and I'm assuming the air bubbles is the tubular rocks below. The Nike Air Flight 89 shares the same DNA with the Air Jordan 4, making it a sleeper favorite among sneakerheads. The Nike Air Flight was released in 1989. In 1989, the shoe was a staple amongst the NBA elite. Players like Sean Kemp, Reggie Miller, and others rocked the Air Flight 89. The shoe shares the same sole unit as the Air Jordan 4. There was also a high top version as well. And actually, Michael Jordan, this was supposed to be Michael Jordan's shoe, but the designers ended up making a tweak and he ended up wearing the Air Jordan 4 instead of this one. High tops were my favorite ones, as you can see here. Back in 89, they had the black and gray ones, as you can see here. But this one here, I enjoyed the high tops. The high tops were so much better. Now, I had a pair of the 3/4, but to me, I enjoyed the high tops so much. The Converse Pro Leather, worn by legends like Dr. J. This sneaker bridged the gap between performance and style. Converse Pro Leather was released in 1976. Julius Erving, commonly known as Dr. J, wore these sneakers for many years, earning accolades in the basketball universe. The sneakers was one of the most popular shoes in that era, which led to a Converse domination in the NBA. The shoe remains in NBA lore as this sneaker was worn by Dr. J during the 1980s NBA Finals against the Los Angeles Lakers. Dr. J's iconic baseline move put him and the Converse on the map forever. The shoe was also worn by a young freshman named Michael Jordan, who hit the winning shot against Georgetown University in the 1982 NCAA basketball championship. Here with other silhouettes, this shoe was phenomenal, man. O's with the red Converse Vector and the star. Jay made that baseline move and had the Converse on. It was a red with the white Converse logo. Shoe was white and it had the red Converse Vector, the Adidas Centennial, a stylish, unappreciated basketball shoe from the Adidas archive. The Centennial sneakers have a futuristic appearance and a unique toe box design. The sneaker also has a distinctive multi-disc outsole that aids in responsiveness and traction. The Adidas Centennial 85 brings together the best of both worlds, combining the classic design with contemporary materials and technology. Crafted with precision and style, these high tops pay homage to Adidas' rich heritage while embracing contemporary trends. The Adidas Centennial shoes never follow any sort of rules, being one of the first basketball shoes to launch in both suede and leather materials. This version stays true to its roots from the 1980s and brings in a strong retro vibe, complete with a high-cut design. Now, they wouldn't be Centennials without the spoiler flex heel design on the back. Johnny Dawkins playing with the Duke Blue Devils in the mid-80s. As you can see here, he rocked the Adidas Centennials with the black and the blue. Mid-80s Adidas, mid-80s era Adidas was some of the best looking basketball sneakers, probably in the history of sneakers. Right? That's just not my opinion. The Adidas Centennial 85 has got you covered. This limited edition release comes in a range of vibrant colors. Conductor debuted in 1986 and was worn by New York Knicks legend Patrick Ewing. Along with the Rivalry High Top and the Rivalry Low Top, the Adidas Conductor was launched as the Patrick Ewing Collection. Now let's fast forward to 2023. Adidas released the New York Pack to include the high top Adidas Conductor and a pair of low top Adidas Rival. Now you look at the tongue badging in 1986 on the Adidas Conductor, it had the Ewing logo, the Ewing collection. And then when Patrick Ewing left, they transitioned it to the Adidas badge. The Adidas logo, the Nike Terminator, a vintage basketball shoe that still holds nostalgic value. In 1985, Nike introduced the Terminator model. The Terminator is best known to have the same colors as the Georgetown Hoyas men's basketball team. The shoe was released to celebrate Georgetown's national championship in 1984. However, the Hoyas failed to repeat as national champions in 1985. I was a huge fan of Georgetown basketball back in the 80s, just like a lot of guys and gals back in those days. Nike blessed Georgetown University with these Nikes, the Georgetown Nikes, because they was already defending champions from 1984. 1985, they lost the championship to Villanova, which was probably one of the greatest upsets in NCAA history. because you had Patrick Ewing on that team, David Wingate, Reggie Williams, Georgetown starter jackets, Georgetown hats. It was just a complete set. The Air Max Total Up Tempo, big in the 1990s basketball scene, often tied to aggressive play styles and bold design. Worn by Reggie Miller of the Indiana Pacers, who went on to become the main endorser of the shoe. The Nike Air Max Total Up Tempo continued the lineage of Nike up-tempo basketball shoes with the visible Air Max bubble. The Adidas Concord, a classic design, less mainstream but valued among niche collectors. Concord was released in France in 1983. The shoe's production was discontinued after 3 years. The aforementioned was surprising since it was one of the Adidas' most popular brands on the basketball court. The shoe was available as a high top and also as a mid-cut version. Now, I remember when they brought these Concords out, these jokes, bottom of the Adidas sole, classic Adidas, man. Top in the mids and different colors, different trims, right? In Okinawa, Japan, as you can see right here. I was looking at the sites, man. I was hoarding, stalking these sites. Crocs, polarizing but undeniably impactful and redefining casual footwear. First appeared on the shoe scene in 2002. Colorado natives Scott Siemens, Lyndon Duke Hansen, and George Bodecker Jr. founded Crocs in 2001 after innovating on a foam clog by Canadian brand Foam Creations, which Crocs later acquired. The first model produced by Crocs, the Beach, was introduced at the 2002 Fort Lauderdale Boat Show in Florida. Originally designed by two Quebec-based chemical engineers, these funny clogs are made of closed-cell ethylene vinyl acetate, short for EVA. It's using an exclusive technology called Cross-Light, which makes them comfortable, lightweight, durable, and above all, provides them with unrivaled antibacterial and anti-odor quality. These easily washable, buoyant, and non-slip clogs also have the advantage of being thermoformable. In other words, the wearer's body heat makes the shoe takes the shape of the feet. The comfort offered by these colored plastic shoes quickly won over the Americans. In 2003, the first year of production, 76,000 sandals left the factory. The popularity of the new sandals exploded as Hollywood adopted them. Al Pacino, Jack Nicholson, and Terry Hatcher all wore them. By the summer of 2006, the company's factories were producing nearly 3 million pairs a month to keep up with the demand. The flexible plastic clog with holes, originally favored by the medical profession, quickly became known and recognized throughout the world under the name Crocs. Labeled ugly shoes 10 years after their launch, they went through a short period of decline before finding a new lease of life in 2013. A fashion phenomenon associated with celebrities, the great designers, and the biggest brands, Crocs became both the queen of limited editions sold at a premium price and a star of the social networks with the motto, "Come as you are." And even though they are now available in 20 different models, 20 different colors, the classic clog that made the brand so successful is still a spearhead product. 2005, when Sherry Schmelzer, age 41, was playing around with ways to decorate her children's Crocs and decided to plug the holes with anything that I could find that was cute. She selected items with the help of her children. She decided to use clay and rhinestones to make charms that will fit snugly into the holes of her family's 10 pair of Crocs. When her husband Richard came home, he saw the potential. The man was Duke Hansen, the founder of Crocs. A little over a year after making her first Jibbit, Sherry and Rich sold their business to the Croc Company for $10 million, with an extra $10 million if they meet sales goals. Sherry and Rich still run the Jibbits Company, and they say business is booming. Crocs are becoming a blank canvas for which creators of all mediums may meet. Recreating one just requires a greater sense of humor than if you was trying to create a pair of Nikes. And this is reflected in the individuals the company has chosen to work with thus far. Got the Chinatown Market, KFC, Balenciaga, and many others are all capable of taking on a cheekier persona, and that makes them the ideal candidate for collaborating with Crocs. There are exactly 13 holes on each pair of Crocs. Whether you're looking at a pair of kids Crocs or a men's size 15 Crocs, each pair has 13 holes on the top of the shoe. But they aren't just there for aesthetics. The holes serve as ventilation and let out excess moisture to keep the shoes fresh. Like Lysol and hand sanitizer brands, Crocs actually benefited from 2020. While the COVID-19 pandemic did a number on businesses around the globe, Crocs pulled in $1.4 billion in earnings, an increase of 12.6% over 2019. Additionally, Crocs stock price more than quadrupled in 2020, and the hits just keep on coming. In the third quarter of 2021, Crocs posted record revenue of $625 million, a 73% increase from the same period in 2020. Crocs is one of the top 10 non-athletic footwear brands in the world. In 2021, Crocs Incorporated announced that it expects revenue to increase to more than $5 billion by 2026. In December of last year, Crocs inked a deal to acquire the privately owned footwear brand Hey Dude. The deal is valued at $2.5 billion. Crocs donate millions of shoes. The brand regularly donates shoes to those in need throughout their Crocs Cares program. Since March 2020, Crocs has donated more than 1 million pairs of shoes to healthcare workers globally. I will tell you, that is sainthood. Doctors, those nurses. Because I tell you, those were the first people to actually really start rocking Crocs on the regular. Shout out to them, man. Coming in at number 16, the Lucky Charms Crocs. At number 15, the Hidden Valley Ranch Crocs. Number 14, the Free and Easy Crocs. At number 13, the San Juans Crocs. At number 12, the Space Jam Croc. Number 11, the McDonald's Crocs. Number 10, the Drew House Crocs. Number 9, the Karol G Crocs. And number 8, the Post Malone Crocs. And number 7, the Takashi Murakami Crocs. And number 6, the Pizza Slime Crocs. At number 5, the China Market Crocs. At number 4, the Palace Crocs. At number 3, the Pleasure Crocs. At number 2, the Balenciaga Crocs. Coming in at number 1, the Soleil Bembury, the Nike Air Raid, designed for outdoor basketball, a rugged and unique piece of Nike's lineup. The Nike Air Raid was designed by Tinker Hatfield, who also designed the Nike Air Max and Air Jordan lines. The Air Raid has a unique design with 2 crisscrossing straps across the midfoot. This design was about strapping up and going to battle on the basketball courts. The straps were intended to provide stability and support for players on outdoor basketball courts. The Nike Air Raid was designed for outdoor play. The Air Raid was a popular shoe among players in the early 1990s and was worn by Tim Hardaway of the Golden State Warriors. As you can see, Spike Lee standing in the middle of the court. He's going to be holding a pair of the Nike Air Raids. He'll pass the ball to Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway is going to shoot a jumper. He's going to say, "'Cause I got skills." Look at that. Spike Lee, Tim Hardaway shooting the J, rocking the Air Raids. Look at that. Classic 1992 Nike commercial. Back in the day. Go on YouTube so you can hear the full audio. I ain't about to violate no copyright laws. And then he's promoting his movies, Do the Right Thing and Jungle. The Nike Air Griffey Max, a signature sneaker for baseball fans, important but niche compared to basketball and lifestyle kicks. The Ken Griffey was designed by lead designer Terry Teague, who was instructed by Ken Griffey Jr. to make this shoe loud. Griffey stated, "At the time, I wanted to be different than anybody else." The shoe was released in 1996 and launched in 3 colorways: 2 Seattle Mariner uniform colors and the Varsity Royal, as you can see here in the picture. 1996, I bought a pair of Ken Griffey Jr.'s from a mall in freaking Phoenix, Arizona. As you can look at these colorways, this shoe, I tell you, so many colorways, so many phenomenal colors. You can wear this shoe with anything. You can wear it with shorts. You can wear it with blue jeans. You can wear it with basketball shorts. You can wear it with cargo shorts. This shoe, man, one of the best looking silhouettes, one of the best colorways in the history of the Ken Griffey Jr. Swingman collection. Nike honored Ken Griffey Jr. with the Swingman edition. The shoe was released in June 2021. The shoe was released as part of the Swingman collection to include the Air Max 90, the Air Force 1, the Air Vapor Max, and jerseys and shorts. Here's other pictures of other silhouettes. Tell me in the comments which silhouette that you had, that you want to buy, and that looks the best. Go ahead and rank them. One of the best looking swings in baseball, the swing man, Ken Griffey Jr. You ever get a chance to watch Ken Griffey Jr. swing at a baseball, hit a home run? It's freaking majestic. It's like one motion, pow. That dude was freaking phenomenal. The Nike Scorpion, a more recent model, unique, but it's not as iconic as the others. The Nike Air Max Scorpion is a byproduct of the Nike Vapor Max. The shoe was created during the pandemic of 2020 with a condensed timeline of 18 months. Nike scientists, engineers, and designers worked on the shoe virtually. Air Max Scorpion offers the most air as it relates to PSI, pounds per square inch. The shoe is 20% recycled content by weight. As you can see here on the picture. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nike Air Max Scorpion Wolf Gray colorway, along with other Air Max Scorpions, will run you about $250. New Balance 327 traces its roots back to the 1970s. The 320, the 355, and the Super Comp were running shoes that served as inspiration for the current model 327. The 327 is touted as the ultimate leisure shoe. The 327 was designed by Charlotte Lee. She was surprised by the initial reaction of the shoe, as she stated, "I don't think anything could have prepared me for the demand or the positive reaction, to be honest." I would tell you, Miss Charlotte Lee, thank you for your inspiration with this shoe. The New Balance 327, I don't know how she was shocked. A lot of times, people create something, manifest something, and if they don't like it, or if they feel that no one likes it, they may look at it as a failure. This shoe, I know it's the fall right now, but this is a great shoe for the summer. Again, if you live in those warm weather climates, those tropical climates. My recommendation is do not run in these. Just wear them on a regular. The Air Max 2090 was designed to demonstrate the future of trainer design. Senior Creative Director Dylan Roche stated the product shows the way footwear has evolved in the past 30 years. The Air Max 90 was the starting point for the 2090. When everything was laid out, we could clearly see a pattern of design, said Dylan Roche. The Air Max 2090 was released in 2020, but the Nike 2090 exceeded my expectation. The Air Jordan 6 debuted in 1991 with an original price of $125. On order, Michael Jordan directed designer Tinker Hatfield to ensure the shoe had a reinforcement around the toe. The Air Jordan 6 added a more solid rubber bottom due to previous slippage issues with the Jordan 5. Now, as you can see here with the Air Jordan 5, the bottom of it, a lot of kids were falling, and I've seen it personally. I myself personally. Jordan also wanted the heel tab position to not hit his Achilles tendon, making it the first shoe of any sort to have a molded structure on the back. As you can see here in some of the other colors, y'all remember that. Used to say Nike Air. Watching Michael Jordan, even though I was a Detroit Piston fan, I still like Michael Jordan. Memories, we'll talk about the history of the shoe and also show you some pictures regarding this shoe as well. The company was founded by two brothers, Paul and Jim Van Doren, in 1966, and they opened in Anaheim, California as the Van Doren Rubber Company. They had two partners along with them, Gordon Lee and Serge Delia. The goal was to create an improved skate shoe. The Old School is Van's first skate shoe that incorporated leather panel for increased durability. What started as a random doodle by Paul Van Doren was originally referred to as the Jazz Stripe. Skateboarders loved the rugged makeup and sticky sole. In 1976, the Off the Wall logo made its debut. Off the Wall was slang for doing empty trick and empty pull, as you can see here with this rubber sole. Look at it, it's almost like waffle-like. These guys are skateboarding, hitting their side against that concrete wall, definitely in some pain. So hey, create a shoe that can insulate the foot and withstand some of those marks. Now, if we saw anybody wearing Vans, they were called hippie shoe. Here's other colorways of the Old School. And they got the Old School and all these other different brands, not different brands, but different silhouettes. Now, I'm not too familiar with the other silhouettes. I'm more familiar with this one here because this is the one I see all the time, but I know they got the high top ones and all these different colors and all that. Shoe, 1966. This shoe was freaking Air Max 2. Charles Barkley's was released in 1994 and worn by Charles Barkley as a member of the Phoenix Suns. The designers at Nike wanted to channel Charles Barkley's game and his personality. The shoe was designed with a straitjacket in mind to capture Charles Barkley's crazy Nike game. Air More Up-Tempo was designed by Wilson Smith and debuted in 1996. Scottie Pippen wore this shoe during the 1996-1997 season and described the sneaker as a graffiti shoe. The sneaker was originally named the Air Biggest. Wilson Smith noted, "Good design solves problems. It's not just beautiful, it solves problems." Air More Up-Tempo was ideal for above-the-rim Air Max, designed by Tinker Hatfield in 1985 and released on March 26, 1987, marked a significant moment in sneaker history. Hatfield deviated from the original design brief and Nike's marketing strategy to create a revolutionary shoe. Inspired by a building in Paris, Hatfield's vision was to expose the Nike Air Bubble, a feature not initially favored by Nike. Contrary to Nike's preference for a concealed air bubble, Hatfield saw an opportunity to enhance the shoe's market appeal. He believed that making the air bubble visible would set the shoe apart and attract customers. Initially met with resistance from Nike, Hatfield assured them that he could address concerns about their air bubble's durability. Nike executives were apprehensive about the air bubble getting punctured during various activities, like running and jumping. Hatfield, however, proposed innovative support materials to mitigate these concerns. This assurance ultimately persuaded Nike to approve the visible air bubble, a decision that would redefine the sneaker industry. In the era when Nike Air Max and similar shoes with visible air bubbles became popular, wearers even found ways to personalize their shoes. Some would deliberately let the air out with a pen, challenging the conventional design and making a statement of their own. The Nike Air Max with the exposed air bubble, shaping the legacy of iconic footwear. What makes the Nike Air Max 1 SC stand out is its design evolution. From the premium leather upper to the updated branding and the vintage-inspired midsole, every element contributes to a distinctive aesthetic that seamlessly combines nostalgia with innovation. Chuck Taylor Converse All-Stars, commonly known as Converse All-Stars, or simply Chucks, are iconic and classic footwear produced by Converse Incorporated. These shoes have a rich history and have become a timeless symbol of casual fashion and youth culture. All right, let's talk a little history about the Converse Chuck Taylor All-Star. The Converse Rubber Shoe Company was founded by Marcus Mills Converse in 1908 in Malden, Massachusetts. In 1917, the company introduced the All-Star basketball shoe, which is one of the first shoes designed specifically for basketball players. The shoe's design was improved in the 1920s by basketball player Chuck Taylor, who worked for Converse as a salesman and ambassador. Taylor's signature was added to the ankle patch, and he played a crucial role in promoting and improving the shoe's design. Chuck Taylor's involvement led to the shoe being popularly referred to as Chuck Taylor All. There you have it, the stories behind some of the most iconic footwear, sneakers, and shoes ever made. Now it's your turn. What is your favorite sneaker of all time? Is it one of these classics or something else entirely? Let me know in the comments, and I want to hear your story. I want to hear from you. If you enjoyed this journey through sneaker history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. More stories like this are on the way. Until next time, keep walking, keep rocking, and stay iconic.